Today I wanted to share with you all about my diet and what I have done to lose a few pounds, and it's been so successful and so easy that I really wanted it to share with you. I think you need three things before you start a diet. I think you need tons of motivation. I think you need an idea of how you're going to do it and a plan that you can stick with. So here we go. Where do I start? Okay, all summer long I've been super busy, as you know, and I have just been eating on the go and had lots of company and gone on lots of trips and stuff, so I've just been not paying any attention to what I eat. And I knew I had gained a few pounds, but I had no idea how many pounds. Coco, get down. Get down. She's shaking my table. And she'll knock this camera down because it is teetering on this thing. Okay. So, anyway, I knew I had gained a few pounds, but I didn't know how much weight I had gained. And I kept thinking, you know, I probably gained weight, but my scale was here at the apartment. So I wasn't there almost the whole summer, so I didn't have my scale with me. Well, finally in September, I was getting dressed one day and I put on a shirt that I've worn a million times. And it's just a cotton button-up shirt. It has a shirt tail on the front and the back. And I wear it with my shorts, and it's really cute. And I've worn it for like 2 years. Well, I put it on one morning, and I buttoned the top button, but then the button right here would not button. I mean, it buttoned, but it was pulling really hard. And I'm like, did my boobs come in finally? I mean, I didn't know what to think. Well, then I kept buttoning it, and at the bottom, the hip button that goes around my hips would not button. And I was like, oh, whoa, Nellie, we got to do something about this. So I thought about it, and that's it. I didn't do anything about it, but it was in my brain that I need to do something about it. I need to go on a diet, like a real diet. Still didn't know what I weighed. That's my first motivation. My second motivation was, what was my second motivation? Oh, I was in the Dollar Tree one day and I walked by the books, and there was this book called The No More Excuses Diet. And the girl on the front was about 12, and of course she was really skinny and cute. And the cover caught my attention because it said 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. It was a 3-3-3 thing, and I thought, well, if I can do a diet for 3 days, surely I can go for 3 weeks, and then if I'm successful, I can go for 3 months. So I really had that motivation on the brain. My third motivation was I went on a trip, as I shared last time, to New York and Philadelphia, and I met up with Nettie Ward from Nettie's World for You. And y'all, she's so tiny. And I saw my old self in her. I used to be that tiny and kind of thin, and I felt like a big blob around her. And I'm not a big blob, but oh my gosh, I felt that way so much. And we talked a lot about health and fitness and everything. And she was so fit, and so, I thought she was such a larger, not fat, but a taller, bigger person online than she was in person. And so talking to her and kind of sharing with her how I was feeling about my weight and everything really motivated me. So I got home a couple days later from my trip, and the first day I was home, I thought, this is it, I'm going on a diet. What kind of diet? I don't know. And still I didn't know what I weighed. Okay, I still haven't weighed yet. So I remembered that Vassar Beauty, I'll link her too below, has done a lot of dieting videos. And so I went to one of hers that I thought that was really cool and had a lot of good ideas. And I watched it and I got remotivated. And she talked about this app called MyFitnessPal. Downloaded the app right then. I guessed at my weight. I put in my weight and everything, and it said I could have 1,200 calories. And I put in, I wanted to do my diet for 3 months. Because I thought, no, I guess my weight high. I guess my weight high because I thought I had probably 12 pounds to lose. So I thought I'll do 12 weeks from September 20th to December 20th. I'll be right before Christmas, and that'll be perfect, right? So I put the app in, and I started eating the very next day 1,200 calories a day. I put every single bite of food that I ate, I put it in the app. It's really easy to use. You just type in what you're eating, your brand, whatever. I used a scale. I was very precise. I used a food scale that I have that I've shared with y'all before. I'll link that too. I'm not sponsored by any of this, but I'll just do it for you in case you want to look at it. But anyway, I don't know what it was. Probably the fact that I couldn't button my shirt was so weird and shocking that I just decided that was just, I don't know. I just stuck with it, y'all. I stuck so closely to it. After about a week, I could tell I was eating too much food. 1,200 calories for me was too much food for me to lose weight. You know, if you're like when Scott and I go on a diet together or something, he's allowed so many more calories than me. So that's how it goes. Like if you don't have a lot to lose, I guess, or if you're smaller, I don't know what the criteria is, but I could tell that 1,200 was too many calories and I was not gonna to have the success I wanted. So I cut my calories to 1,000 calories. Yes, that made it more difficult, but it was totally doable. Totally doable. What it did for me was it made me a better cook. All of a sudden, I was thinking a lot more about flavor and I don't know, I was thinking a lot more about recipes and flavors and the way I could make my food taste good so that it was really satisfying when I ate it, so that it would just feel more filling or something. I don't know. I hope you're following what I'm trying to say. So I didn't exercise either. Now I took some walks down at the beach house. I did yard work and stuff like that, but I don't count that as fitness because it wasn't a set thing, you know, but it's just something I do occasionally. And so when I finally weighed, well, I weighed pretty quickly after I started the whole thing, and I weighed 121. For me, that is very high. I just can't carry that kind of weight. Obviously, I couldn't button my clothes. So I realized I didn't need to lose 12 pounds. That would be way too skinny. Scott does not like me below like 115. So I compromised in my mind that I would lose to 113 and then I would kind of, you know, have a little bit of room to do that, because I weighed 110 once and since I got married, and he said, no, he doesn't like skinny women. So anyway, that is what I've been doing, is just counting calories, and that's it. It's so easy. I think sometimes we complicate things, and I think if there's one thing we need in our world today is simplification. It's easy and simple to count calories. There's no special thing you need to buy or do other than a way to count the calories. Treats. I decided to have built-in treats in my diet because there was no way that I was not going to have something special every single day, or I knew I would quit the diet, right? So my number one thing was the dark chocolate peanut butter cups from Trader Joe's. One of those and they're minis, but one of them is 65 calories. Well, what I did, I got a couple boxes last time I was in Tampa. I keep them in the freezer, and I get out one a night after dinner. I get out one peanut butter cup and it's frozen, and I just sit it out for about 2 or 3, 5 minutes, and then I eat it really slow because it's still kind of frozen, right? So I eat it kind of slow, and it just is very satisfying, very satisfying. So I always make sure I have those 65 calories saved every single day for that. Second thing is my other treat that I do almost every day is I have iced coffee. I've started buying it like cold brew coffee in the jug, I guess you could call it, container at the grocery store. They have a Starbucks brand, but my favorite is STOK brand. I don't know how to say it. It's kind of foreign, I think, because it has little dots over the O's. But I use that. I get decaf because it's afternoon, and I pour the cold brew from the fridge over ice. I add 2 tablespoons of milk, usually 2%, and then cinnamon. Y'all, it's like a coffee drink. It is a coffee drink, but I mean, it's so decadent. Some days, if I've been really good and I know already what I'm having for dinner, I will put 1 teaspoon of Hershey's chocolate syrup in it and make a mocha. And that's good too. And the cinnamon too. Oh my gosh, y'all. It tastes like you're having a dessert, and it is the perfect afternoon kind of a thing to get you through to dinner. Now, a couple tips. I kind of plan ahead for what I'm going to eat, like in the morning, sort of. Now, I do not eat breakfast. I have never been a breakfast person. I've never eaten breakfast on a regular basis. Normally, I don't eat breakfast because I find for me, if I eat breakfast, I eat tons the rest of the day, and I don't like that. And I know there's all those thoughts of, you know, oh, you got to get your metabolism going and all that. But when I look at how many calories breakfast is, it's not worth it to me because I'm going to be hungry again at lunch and I'm going to be hungry again at dinner. And I can't stay in that 1,000 calorie thing doing that. I just can't. And a lot of people will say, oh, that's not healthy. Well, you know what? Being overweight is not healthy either. So pick your battle. What's your battle? You pick it. That's up to you. What works, and also what works for your body might not work for someone else's body. I'm not saying this is gospel. This is just what has worked for me. So I wanted to share it in case I give you one tip that gets you motivated to start if you are in the market to lose weight. Now I have lost, I started September 20th. Today is October. I started September 20th. Today's October 30th. Last time I weighed, I was 114 and a half. I mean, from 121 to 114 and a half, huge difference in my clothes, in how I feel, in how I look. And I'm just going to lose I have this thing in my app to go through December. So I'm probably going to keep it up till Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, and then eat what I want because we're leaving town for Thanksgiving. And then I'll dabble in it in the 3 weeks in December, and then we're going out of town for December. And then I'll think about maintenance. The other thing about going down to 1,000 calories a day, which was nice, is in my mind, I could still have 1,200 if I wanted. So if we were having dinner and I was, only had my 65 calories left, I knew I could have a glass of wine for 100 calories if I wanted to. And I would still be at 1,100 calories. You see what I mean? So having that little bit of leeway has been really good because I would still be under what the fitness people thought I should be at, right? The other thing I do is I don't eat late at night. So I'm technically, what's that called? Intermittent fasting. But I've been doing that my whole life. I've been intermittent fasting because I've never liked breakfast. I mean, I could hardly choke breakfast down when I was a kid, but my parents just thought it was, back then it was the most important meal of the day. And so I finally settled on Carnation instant breakfast. I could drink my breakfast. But my mom was right. I mean, we had a long day at school and lunch sometimes wasn't till late. We didn't get home till after 4. So I did probably need it then, but most of my life, since I've been married, I don't eat breakfast. So that means if I eat dinner and I'm finished with dinner by 7 and I don't eat breakfast, I'm not eating till noon. It's what it's doing. It's not that you're doing it for a diet, but your body is completely at rest. Your pancreas and the thing that does your insulin, which I think is your pancreas, all that stuff is at rest. I think sometimes when we graze and we eat all day long and then we eat late at night and then we eat early in the morning, your body is constantly having to digest and do the sugars and everything. And I think that gets a lot of people in trouble. So I'm all for intermittent fasting, although I never knew it had a name till about 3 or 4 months ago when I saw it on YouTube. I thought, oh, I already do that. Anyway, I do think you can have better results if you exercise. I'm all for exercise. It's just not for me. I cannot stand it. Just saying. Other thing, my most important find of this whole diet. Now, I'm not saying this is a healthy food. I'm not saying that at all. But I have been eating healthy. Is veggie straws. They are, I don't know what they're made of, some sort of dust or something. But they're these crunchy things. They sell them in the grocery store. I get mine at Costco, and they're just called veggie straws. One day in the middle of my diet, I really wanted some chips. So I finally got out the bag of, because I'm a chipaholic. I haven't had a potato chip since I started this, but I wanted some Tostitos. So I got the thing out and I looked at it, and for a serving for like 140 calories, I could have 7 Tostitos. You know what? When you're only having 1,000 calories, 7 Tostitos, it's going to take 1/10 of your calories. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I thought, oh my gosh. I was at Costco. I saw the veggie straws. It said gluten-free. I thought, Okay, grabbed them. Y'all, those things are amazing. They're salty. They're so crunchy, and you can have 38 of them for a serving of like 130 calories. Well, to me, that is worth it because I can have part of them with my lunch and half of them in the afternoon. And it's crunchy and it's good. And having that with the rolled up ham with its string cheese in the middle and a couple pickles and some grapes or something is a great lunch, okay? Another thing that makes it easy is to repeat. When you find something you really like that's low in calorie, your lunch and stuff, repeat it. And then you don't have to think so hard about what you're gonna do. I will say also, and I know I'm talking fast, it was easier for me to do this because my husband has been traveling, so it was just me. I guarantee that made it easier to be successful. Another thing I was talking about, making my food more tasteful, you know, more satisfying, is I bought old school lemon pepper seasoning. And I remember when that came out and my mom used to make lemon pepper chicken. And everyone in our family thought it was the greatest thing in the world. Y'all, that seasoning is so amazing. So I'll put a teaspoon of olive oil in a skillet, ceramic, and I'll get it hot, and then I'll throw in fresh broccoli, chopped up small, and then I'll cover it with the lemon pepper marinade, lemon pepper seasoning, and then I stir fry it till it gets kind of brown, the broccoli. Oh my gosh, y'all, it's so good. I've discovered a lot of little tricks like that I absolutely just, I mean, it's kind of made me love food more. But I think it's because I'm appreciating it more, because you have to choose carefully or you're going to go over, because you're going to be starving or you're going to feel unsatisfied at the end of the day and you're going to eat something you shouldn't. So those are my tips. I have some more here. Oh, limit alcohol. Alcohol, I had to limit it, you know, not that I was drinking every night or anything like that, but I had to really want a glass of wine to have it for 100 calories, because that's not gonna be filling, if you know what I mean. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see what else. A lot of fish. I've eaten a lot of salmon. I found my crunch. And the other thing is, I have not said no to any food. Okay, there's no food group. I mean, I stay away from gluten, but there's no food group that I'm totally skipping. I'm not sitting here saying I'll never have another potato. You know, a half a baked potato is super filling and not that many calories if you don't load it up, right? So I'm not doing any kind of weird thing where I'm not eating like, or I'm only eating meat, or I'm not eating, sugar will never pass my lips. I think those drastic kind of diets work, but I think they're easier to gain the weight back if you've had to do something drastic to lose. Now, if you have a ton of weight to lose, do something drastic. You know what I mean? That's fine, because your health depends on it. But if you just need to lose 20 pounds, you know, try to just do it methodically. I don't know what I'm going to do when I quit the diet, but I can tell you that I've trained myself to have smaller portions. Portion size is everything when you're counting calories, and using a scale is very, very useful. And I think that helped me out a lot. So that's it with my diet, and I hope you enjoyed it. And yes, you can lose weight in menopause. It's possible.